Why is it that every time you get really stressed, you get sick? In this video, I'm going to share with you why you're so stressed and what you can do to keep yourself from getting sick so often. Hey, I'm Dr. Sam McDonald. I'm a brain health expert, and this channel is dedicated to helping you rewire your brain so that you can live a better life. If you love this content, make sure to like and subscribe so you get the notifications for each week's new video. So the first question we want to answer is, why are you so stressed? And to answer this question, we have to understand how the nervous system functions. So you have two different states of how you function. You have your fight or flight state, which is known as your sympathetic state, and then you have your resting, digesting, and healing state, and this is known as your parasympathetic state. So you have fight and flight and rest and digest and heal. Now with anxiety, what we tend to see is that those that are more anxious are stuck more in this chronic fight or flight state. And this can be for a number of different reasons. It can be for really big stressful events in our lives that tune our nervous system to be in that more anxious state. So it can be things like car accidents, traumatic emotional events, or even things that we eat on a regular basis that stress our nervous system and put us in this more fight or flight state. Now, it can also happen from very low-level events too. So this can be things like how we're holding our body every day in our posture. It can be what we're subjecting ourselves to on our technology. And again, it can be things that we're eating that can slowly erode our health over time. And all these things are going to push us into this more chronic stressed state. So if you're a person who finds yourself to be more anxious, you need to really evaluate yourself in how are you holding your body and really how are you functioning. Are you a person who's more in this chronic fight or flight state, or are you in this more resting, relaxed, and healing state? And you should be in the resting, relaxation, parasympathetic, brake pedal mode as we call it. You should be that about 80% of the time, and then in that fight or flight about 20% of the time. So you're not going to be one or the other all the way. This is a spectrum. But predominantly you want to be more in that resting and relaxation and healing mode. So now when it comes to understanding why you get sick so often, if you're stuck in this chronic anxious cycle, is that when you go into that more fight or flight state, your nervous system is going to start to dump a hormone called cortisol. So cortisol is an amazing hormone that does so many different things, and it's a natural anti-inflammatory. Its job is to lower inflammation, and it's really, really good for turning on your natural immunity, and that's your ability to fight off problems and infections in a very short-term cycle. So it's really important for that, because think, if you're in a stressful situation, a situation where you need to fight or flight, so think of attacking, getting chased by a bear, having to defend yourself, you're going to want that natural immunity ramped up, because if you were to get injured, you don't want to get an infection, you don't want bacteria and viruses and everything getting in there in this short-term scenario. So you want to make sure that the immunity is ramped up. The problem is, over time, if you're stuck in these chronic stress cycles, this cortisol is going to drive down inflammation. It's also going to drive down T cells and white blood cells, which means that as you're continuing to expose yourself to other natural occurring microbes in your environment, your immune system is not going to be able to fight them off because you don't have the resources and everything else there to be able to protect yourself. So short-term, cortisol is excellent, but long-term, it's a really, really poor strategy because you're dumping the entire immune system and you're weakening everything. Along with that too, you're also going to be using up a lot of your natural reserves for your body to function. So every time you're chronically stressed, you're going to deplete your body of B vitamins. So you're going to be fatigued. You're not going to be able to produce the necessary resources for your immune system to do what it needs to do. You're going to deplete yourself of glutathione, which is a very powerful antioxidant needed to help clean out the body. You're going to deplete your fat-soluble vitamins, your A's, D's, K's. You're going to deplete yourself of vitamin C, pretty much everything, calcium, minerals, everything, because the body's running at this very high RPM, and it's going to use up all these different resources to maintain this rhythm. So as you can see, it's really important to get yourself out of that chronic fight or flight state, start to rebuild your reserves of your vitamins and your minerals in order for yourself to be healthy even under these chronic stressful states. So it's really important, make sure you're getting the proper nutrients that you need to make it through the times in your life when things are a bit stressful. So on that note, you should be healthy by choice, not by chance. And for that reason, I will see you on the next video.